You have seen the agenda. All these issues are critically important issues, and I think all of them highly germane to the worlds you come from as well. And I really can't think of anyone better to kick us off in terms of delving into some of this subject matter than Renata Sinril, who heads up, as you know, the LA84 Foundation. Renata, I'm going to throw the floor over to you as you take on one of the key issues for this conference, and thank you very much indeed for all your support. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, and I'm going to continue the Bill Husak Love Fest, but I'm going to expand that. This is a sport conference, and with every sport there is a team, and I just wanted to take a moment this morning to thank the team of Loyola Marymount University, who worked very hard on every small detail and large detail to bring this conference to fruition. And I'd also like to thank the team of the LA84 Foundation, who also worked tirelessly. So Jeremy and Vanessa, who I know are here, thank you very much from my team. And then finally, I'd like to indulge a brief introduction of three of my board members, who have given me the opportunity to serve this great organization. I'm going to start first with, I saw John Chavez. John Chavez, where are you? John Chavez is up in the back. Mater Dei? Oh. I'm sorry, American Martyrs. See, I should have stopped where I was ahead. Deborah Duncan is here as well, so we can give Deborah Duncan a round of applause. And then, and last but certainly not least, one of the founding board members of the LA84 Foundation, an LMU alum, a former regent of Loyola Marymount University, Maureen Kendall. So, play equity and social justice. I went the wrong way. This is upside down. Try that again. Play equity and social justice. So let me begin with the proposition that youth sports and physical activity can transform the lives of young people by contributing to their physical, emotional, social, and academic development. But not all youth have equal access to sport and fitness opportunities or well-trained coaches and mentors. There is a half a century of research, if not more, supporting the positive relationship between physical activity and positive youth development, and years of documentation of disastrous funding policy decisions that is leaving our most vulnerable kids behind. And I certainly don't have time to rehash all of that data with you today, but this morning you'll hear from one example that best illustrates the point, as well as the work of our foundation. Kylan Moore. Kylan will share his story with you in a few minutes, but suffice it to say, by all accounts, Kylan should have been another troubling statistic for African-American young men. But despite significant challenges and obstacles, this young man's thrived, and he credits much of his success to sport. Football isn't my life, but it helped save my life, Kylan once told me. Our motto at the LA84 Foundation is life ready through sport. And that means way more Kylan Moores than Venus and Serena Williams and Russell Westbrook, those needle in a haystack athletes from programs we funded who went on to become sports legends. NCAA data shows that less than 6% of high school athletes play at a Division I, II, or III school, and 3% of those college athletes who are eligible get drafted to the pros. So let me put that in context for you. In 2015-16, there were over 500,000 young boys playing high school basketball in 2015 and 2016, many having dreams of going pro. The NBA that year drafted just 44 NCAA players. Life ready through sport. It means just that. Life ready, not NBA ready or NFL ready. It means universal access to playtime. It means whether you're rich or poor, Latino, white, black, Asian, Native American, whether you live on the east side or the south side, that you have an opportunity to experience the transformative power of sport, movement, and fitness, to have fun, and to connect with well-trained coaches and mentors who are all about their kids' success on, but more importantly, off the field of play. These are human rights. These are peace and justice rights. And you can call this access whatever you like. At the LA84 Foundation, we like to group these issues under the phrase PE, play equity is a social justice issue. For you see, talent is universal, but opportunity is not. Los Angeles is known throughout the world as a center of wealth, entertainment, sport, and glamour. But the region's successes, like many across the U.S., don't include all residents. Millions of children and families live in poverty. Only about half the country's young people maintain a healthy weight. A majority do not get the recommended amount of weekly exercise. And access to free or affordable programs or fields to play on remains scarce precisely in those communities who need them most. And the L84 Foundation exists to tackle this inequity head-on. And we use sport to affect positive change for the youth and communities that we support. U.S. research data shows that the lower the household income, the less likely kids play sport. Many public schools mandate PE for only 1 to 2 hours a week. Do you hear what I said? Many public schools mandate PE for only 1 to 2 hours a week. I don't know about you, but I had PE 5 days a week. Most have defunded enrichment programs like sports, arts, music, and even charge extra for team sports. And like other youth foundations, our challenge is to reach as many children as our limited resources will allow us to. And we face this challenge recognizing that the interests and abilities of our young people are immense and diverse. And so while the gap is widening between those who have and those who don't, we aim to make sure that play is a right that all youth can enjoy. And we're certainly proud that we've used sport to build a brighter future for those who need it most. But we can't close the play equity gap alone. Partnership and collaborations are key. And we work with anybody and everybody who wants to help our kids, from those who are already engaged in the movement who help us leverage and scale our impact, to those who don't know how or where to get involved. We help find solutions for effective and sustaining partnerships that have resulted in collective funding, focus, and impact. And 2 years ago, very much rooted in the 6 principles of the Sports at a Service of Humanity Foundation, we launched our Play Equity campaign and our Play for All movement. And we have been inspired and humbled by the response of those joining with us to amplify and bring light to the inequities that exist in youth sports and to focus our collective work on closing the play equity gap together. So let me share with you just a few examples. We formed a partnership with the LAUSD to create a free after-school sports program at all 94 middle schools to address the sport dropout problem that occurs at around 12 or 13, precisely when young people are starting middle school. If you want to reach kids, go where they are, right? Sometimes the greatest impact comes from the simplest solution. Schools are relatively safe environments that don't require additional travel or transportation. There's available space and fields to play on, as well as trusted adults. The results? Overall participation is up, girls are playing at a much higher rate, and we're tracking positive academic outcomes as well. And this year we formed a partnership with the NBA Players Association Foundation as part of their 2018 NBA All-Star Legacy. With a 3-year grant commitment to us, we will in turn manage the grant process to youth sports organizations to refurbish or upgrade hundreds of basketball courts in the neediest parts of LA and San Bernardino counties, as well as the Inland Empire. And last year, we partnered with Street Soccer USA to bring their Inspired Soccer program to Los Angeles. And Street Soccer USA's mission is to build life-changing community-based sports programs that reach the least served communities across the United States, including homeless youth, youth in foster care, people in recovery, and other special needs population. And by creating safe places to play and supplying trained, caring coaches, social service coordinators, Street Soccer USA improves the personal capacity of its participants to achieve bigger goals in terms of education and employment. And on the civic side, we engaged a new partnership this year with the Mayor's Office to address gender equity in our local parks. The Girls Play LA initiative aims to increase girls' participation precisely where it's the lowest. And they do this by providing offerings such as drill, cheer, and dance, which we consider a sport. And we've also convened a partnership with Positive Coaching Alliance and the Alliance of Women Coaches to increase women coaching at the grassroots level. I see my friend here nodding his head from PCA, so go PCA. As a youth development organization, using sport as our mode of engagement, we are constantly rethinking program delivery to more effectively increase access for all. But you know, this is an important part. It's not just about offering or scaling good programs. It's about using an equity lens throughout our work to change mindsets, systems, and any barrier to equality of opportunity and access. It is without doubt we are in a world today that finds itself in more than normal turmoil, and all manner of vexing challenges of life and prosperities assault our hearts and minds every day. But we feel that PE, play equity, shouldn't be a social justice issue, and our work to level the field is rooted in the core belief that all youth should have access to sport as a path to lifelong well-being, and equity and inclusion are paramount in this framework. Gender, race, ethnicity, ability, religion, income status, or any part of your identity shouldn't limit your ability to participate. And the dreams of our youth shouldn't be limited by their zip code. For us, sport in the simplest form is one of the most extraordinary of human activities. It is fundamental for education. It allows young people to open up to the trials of life, put themselves to test, cross boundaries, and strive to be the best they can be. In some cases, aiming to be transcendent, much like the young man you'll hear from next. In autumn of 2016, I was deeply honored to join Pope Francis and the delegation of global sports leaders at the Vatican's inaugural Sport at the Service of Humanity conference. And since that time, it's been my great privilege to help bring Service of the Sport of Humanity to Southern California. For me, participating in the original conference was one of the most moving and motivating experiences I've ever had. It is my hope that each of you joining us today and tomorrow as speakers and delegates will head back home inspired and catalyzed as I did when I departed Vatican City. And I hope you will join with us at the L84 Foundation in our work to continue using sport for social good and to effect positive change in the communities that we all serve. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the conference.